Hey. Happy Monday. This is Make It Mondays. I'm Ed Roth, and this is video number 6 in my series called Make It Mondays. And I am really enjoying connecting with people on this and getting your questions about creativity and stenciling. And I got some really fun emails and messages over the last 2 weeks that just made my day. So one was from a person named Molly, and she was referring to this free downloadable that we put up on our site, Cheers Witches, and we put it on a bag. You also got this free template to make your own wine label that says Witches Brew. Well, she told me, Molly told me that she printed the Cheers Witches larger and put it in her office where she works with a lot of witches, and she wasn't sure if they would appreciate it, but she thought it was funny, and she was about to retire, so she was like, I'm going to go out with a bang, and so she made that into Halloween sign, and I thought that was just genius, and I can relate. I used to work, she also said something very nice. She said she said, you're lucky to do what you love doing for work. And I've worked over 15 years in ad agencies, and I understand that's not always so fun, and it's very competitive, especially I'm here in New York. So anyway, thank you, Molly, for that fun story, and I greatly appreciate anybody emailing me with questions and fun stories about how they're using the stencils, and I love that she made a sign with that template. So let's see, what do I want to talk to you about? Today I'm going to stay in the fall mode, not so much Halloween like we've been doing, but I'm pointing back here. I painted pillows recently. This one I made a video and I posted to the Stencil1 Facebook page, and you'll see that sped up video on how we created a repeat pattern, but rather than on a wall, we used the damask design on a pillow. So you'll learn today how to paint textiles, which is one of my absolute favorite passions. I love painting pillows, I've painted sheets, I've painted rugs, I've painted napkins, plates, but plates aren't fabric, but anyway, placemats, runners, it goes on and on, like what you can make that makes your home one of a kind. So people say to me, well, why wouldn't I just buy it? Well, you can customize this to your exact liking. You can blend colors, you can choose colors, you can really make it your own, but also you will have a completely one-of-a-kind item. So that's my favorite thing about stenciling and customizing home decor, is you are creating one-of-a-kind items that no one else has, and you're able to say you made it. So people will say, oh, where'd you get that pillow? And you say, oh, I painted it, no big deal. So I will show you how I've painted various textiles, and then we'll do one with some mums, which I'm seeing all over the markets now for fall. So I'll do a little blending of colors and put that on a pillow. I also posted to the Facebook Stencil1 page that we now are offering custom stencils for monograms. So you can type in your own monogram, and then we'll cut and send you that. And we're offering it in 2 sizes. So you can, with those sizes, I think they're great for pillows, they're great for doors, chairs, clothing, books, whatever you would monogram. I'd love to know what you would monogram. Please tell me. And we will be using monogram stencils to customize things as well. I'll also put up a lot of pillow posts after this for more inspiration. If you're watching this on YouTube, where these go later, you can go to facebook.com/stencil1 and see a lot of posts. You can also see all our posts on our website, stencil1.com. And in the blog section, we do a lot of projects step by step. Now, the great thing about video is we can talk and I can show you all the little details rather than looking at step-by-step photos. I think it helps to know the little nitty-gritty details of painting. So what else do I'm going to be using Pebeo fabric paint today, and they come in opaque, transparent, and they have some effects to them as well. One is called suede, and I think that's cool because it gives a little texture to your projects. And I'm referring to notes here. Pillow posts, the monograms I told you about. Actually, let's get painting. So we're just going to go over here, and I will show you these pillows that I painted the other day. Let me turn it around. So what are we looking at? Let me shed some light on the subject. Okay, so I started blending some colors here. As you could see, I started with this opaque orange by Pebeo, and these are for fabric specifically. And then I also am using this red color, and I added a little black to it, and that's where I got this muddy color, and then more of this crimson color, and then here's the pure orange, and here's the yellow, and you'll see the yellow says suede effects. So when you heat dry that, it gets a little raised and looks really cool. So let me just show you some things I've painted in the past. Here I did this distressed chevron pillow using a blend of colors, and I used copper metallic fabric paint, and then I mixed in a little turquoise and greens. You'll see the details, like, and you know, I smudgy did a messy thing just to make it look kind of like real distressed metal. But I love this pillow, love it, and it's one of a kind. No one else has it. There it is. Love this. Okay, and here's the one. I put a piece of cardboard in here because when we paint, I'm going to paint the back of it to show you. But here's one I did earlier. I made a video of. You'll see the sped up video on our Facebook page and YouTube channels. Where the stencil is this design, and then we repeated it several times as a repeat pattern. Now, as I said, you know, color is up to you. So if this was black, it would look super Victorian and kind of go with all our Halloween stuff that we've been making. But I love this turquoisey blue color, so I thought that was nice. And yeah. Now, I brought out a pile of other things that I've painted in the past that just to inspire. And this one is, again, this is a copper metallic paint, and these are ginkgo leaves that I sell this design. And this is a pillowcase. People ask me where I get the pillowcases. These are from Muji, M-U-J-I, Japanese brand, very minimalist. I love this store, and they have a lot of staples. So, and they're super textured, so they take paint very well, and they have a quality zipper. So this is, let's place this here. So you get a vibe. There, it's like, and then this was a big hit. People love this one. Sorry, there's gook on there. Okay. This floral stencils we sell, and this is 3 different colors. Very pop. I love this. Very modern. Blue flowers. Here's another metallic mum. We sell this one. I'm not going to paint with this today, but I love this design. And then, you know, I had to do my crazy stuff too. I've got these two pigeons kissing. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. And then this was the start of a repeat pattern of chains in copper. And then basically you paint the stencil once here, and you can move it again and again and again, and that's how you get the repeat pattern. And you can watch the video where we did this one. So that's that. Then this I thought was funny. I buy a lot of fabric, and this has like a traditional Asian pattern to it, and then I painted over it with a 2-layer tiger stencil that we sell. So adding something new to something old, which I think is a way to really make something modern. Ta-da! My socks. Now here we used a lot of color. Fluorescent orange, mums, blue, I don't know what you'd call this. It's a beautiful yellow. And then I even put a little of our fabric spray in the back here, which, let me show you real quick. These are our spray inks, but they're one of the few inks that are out on the market that are great for fabric. So once you spray some texture into your material, you just need to heat set it with an iron. And these come in over 20 colors. Fluorescent, this one's Day Glow Orange. But yes, that's another textile. Love this one. And little, you know, bought a striped pillowcase and put another mum over it. A lot of mums today. So, oh, and here, one more textile, a placemat done with different colors of green. Very modern touch to traditional design. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to mount the camera in a minute, but I'm just still moving around here for you. I'm going to paint the back of this pillowcase today to show you how to blend colors. So just lay that out flat. There's a little something on this pillowcase, but that's because I have this table I need to clean. Now here's our 11-inch by 11-inch stencils, and I have these different mums. We have 3 or 4 different flowers that are this large, and this can be used once on a smaller pillow right in the middle. It can be used, you know, you can do the overlap where you use a few different stencils on one pillowcase. But yeah, these are great for walls, but also today I'll show you how to do paint textiles and also how to blend these various colors. I've been looking at a lot of mums lately for color inspiration, and I was drawn to the ones that are sort of in this range, I guess because it's fall. So let me put the camera on a tripod. Okay, this will free up my hands and I won't be shaking around so much. Alright, I think that's good. Now, the first thing you have to do is take your stencil, and on the back of it you want to put some low-tack spray adhesive. Make sure it's repositionable, and the reason we're doing that is the stencil has all these little tiny design elements, these little flaps, and you just want them to really be secure and held down to your fabric. Now somebody said to me they got some glue residue on when they put it down here. Well, I'll show you one trick of how to avoid that. So off camera, just so I don't have to shift the camera around too much, I'm going to spray the back of this stencil. So hold on. Okay, so I sprayed the back. This is the back. Well, that's the side I sprayed. Now I'm letting it dry 30 to 60 seconds, and before I go and stick it right down on the, flip it over and stick it down on this pillowcase, what you can do is, if you have another piece of fabric or even just the paper that the stencil came with, you can place it down on the paper. It's glued to the paper sort of, and then take it off, and then that residue, you could sort of see it on the paper there, is there. So you got a lot of the glue off of here, but it's still tacky to the touch. And then you can go and place it where you'd like it. I'll place it centered, and because it's a little smaller than the pillow, we'll see if we like that as a design, or we can repeat the design again and again. So, sort of centered. Now, if your design, in this case, it's not that close to the edge, but sometimes I like to put a little tape if the design is close to the edge, so that I don't paint over the outside of the stencil. Sometimes the design is, I think, like for this one, for example, the design is so close that if you were painting this in here, you would kind of go over, so you don't want to do that. So you just put some tape on the outside areas. And then I was looking at flowers and where's the dark part, where's the lighter part, and I'm thinking, hi Michelle, thank you. Okay, so that's in place. And like I said, I've got different colors going on, dark, crimson. So what I have is a few stencil brushes ready to go. I think it's easier than washing a brush in between. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to step over to this side. Yeah. I'm going to just take a little of this darker color, and I want you to notice something. I didn't blend it great because I don't care if streaks of color come out in my design, because like a flower, I want it to be different colors. Okay, so I'm going to brush from the inside out like this. See? And like a flower also, it's like, well, sometimes there's areas that are darker and some are lighter, so that's kind of just enough, I think. Now I'm going to switch brushes and switch colors. So I want to end on a dark color so that I really see the edges of my stencil. So in the middle of the flower, I'm going to use these bright colors. And I'm switching brushes to just make it go easy. Now this is the suede effect yellow, so when this dries, which is hard to show on camera, it will have a little raised look to it, a little texture. So I think, and then I'm going to switch brushes again for this orange, which is a little opaque, so you're going to have some texture of the pillow coming through. I just think it's going to be a nice effect. And then we could start blending it a bit, but I think there's something really awesome about a hand-painted textile. Now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at that almost brown area, and then I'm taking the orange and blending my orange with that brown. So some areas you have the bright orange, which I'd like to keep, and then it's starting to blend here together, like you have the brown to the orange, and then it gets a little warmer. So I think you look at that brown, and then there's a lot of texture in it where you still see the pillow. And what I'm going to do is just take some orange paint and brush into the brown and push it outward. I'm also going in an outward direction because the stencil has these little flaps on it, and I don't want to lift them up the wrong way, so I'm going this outward direction, the same cut as the stencil is cut, if that makes sense. So I can see the blending, I hope you can too, and I'll do some close-ups and we'll post some photos as well. But anywhere I see the texture of the pillow and some white coming through, I'm going to blend the orange with it. And I'm getting this really radiant look. It's really going to be a cool effect. Okay, so it's a lot of back and forth, which I don't mind. Now I'm going to do the outside with like a real this brighter red that I mixed. And I'll just take another brush. I'm using a lot of brushes, but that's all right. And let's see. Now here, I want the edges to be kind of, this will give it a symmetrical look, like if all the edges are this red color, then you'll just see your design more too. If it were yellow, it would sort of blend in with the paleness of the pillow. So, and if you notice, I'm not like filling it all in. I'm going to blend more over this. So there's opportunity to mix colors. You're mixing on the fabric itself, which is really cool. I'm sort of going in a circular motion in areas, like just to get it in there, like blend it. It's looking very Thanksgiving-y, which is nice. I think why not have your own personal decor for the holidays? Okay, the outside's very red. Now how am I going to blend that? I can go back to the yellow, which I guess I just don't see enough of the yellow, so I thought that would be nice to take my yellow brush and a little, sorry for the shadows, little yellow paint. I always dry it off a lot. If I haven't said that, very little paint goes on the brush. But now here's your opportunity to mix that red that we just put down with the yellow. So in this area that's not been fully painted in yet, you could put more yellow. I think that's a bit too much. Sometimes I even dry off my brush on a paper towel just to go in with a dry brush that blends. So now I'm filling in that middle area with yellow, and then I'm going towards the red and swirling and pushing down like this. And then I'm starting to see the yellow, the reds, and the middle colors all come together. And if you see, here's a very solid orange and some orange here. I can just blend it with this yellow, and then it becomes a new color right on the fly. Now some colors just make mud, so I did, this is muddy, so I didn't use too much of it. I used it in the center for that floral effect. And I can take that brush, and I see here is a little light, so I can make the center. You're really blending on the fly, which is fun. Now that I'm jumping all over the place with these, but I mean, look at my brushes. So I've got these colors, and the brushes are nearly dry, like they just have a bit of paint on them. So they're great for blending now, where you can sort of push your colors around and blend them in a little more. Down here is a little dry with the red, and up here is stronger, so I could just take a little, I'm sorry, that's off camera. I'm just taking the slightest amount, like a little dab into it, and then take some off. See, there's the red. Put a little more red on the outside. And then you can just kind of put your red here and there. I think it's ready to go. Like, we'll see what it looks like. I think once we see all the white space from the stencil, it'll be much more appreciated. And then you can repeat this design over and over, or it might look great just as it is. So you don't have to wait for this to dry. And oh my gosh, looks really beautiful. That looks very powerful. Looks like the mums I'm seeing at the market, where there's a lot of color going on. I mean, it's just so pretty. Look at that. And you just wouldn't be expecting it when you're stenciling until you get the reveal, but I think it's quite pretty. Now, you can, of course, we have smaller mums, larger mums. I'd love to see what you would do with a pillow. Oh, and I love to say practice on fabric first. You know, buy some canvas at the art supply store, and before you go and buy a $20 pillowcase that you could practice on. But that's how you do it. Now with the Set to Color suede effect paint, I like to heat it with a heat gun, and then you'll see that little puffiness come out of the paint. It's just slight. So that is today's Make It Mondays is short and and sweet. Again, there's a ton of things you can paint with fabric paint. So I'd love to see what you make with stencils and fabric paint, from napkins to bedding, and I'll post a lot of that on our Facebook page now, and hopefully inspire you. And oh, thank you. You said love the color. I greatly appreciate all the comments. So that's it for today, and you can tune in next Monday for Make It Mondays. Let me just come back and chat with you a second. Hi. So next, I should get the pillow in the shot, right? Next week, same time, same place. Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll do some mixed media, which I keep saying I'm going to do. Oh, and I have a special surprise for some pumpkins too. If you watch some major TV shows, I'm putting a theme around those shows onto these pumpkins. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope this has inspired you, and please tune in again next Monday for Make It Mondays. Thanks.